Hello drunks, deafs and tumbleweeds. You know how sometimes you could be laying in bed about to go to sleep and your mind decides it's going to stay up for hours thinking about creation theories? Well, that happened. I saw an article about a week ago that said we are much more likely to be a computer simulation than not be a computer simulation. And I am going to walk you through the theory. But first I need my sciencey glasses. The computer simulation theory says that if we are a computer simulation, then we're a simulation of a simulation of a simulation, etc. It doesn't take a genius to predict that in the future computer power will be vastly superior to what it is now. Now let's suppose those predictions are correct. One thing future generations might do with their super powerful computers is to create a detailed simulation of their ancestors, or of people like their ancestors. And because their computers would be so powerful, they could run loads of these simulations at once. Now suppose that these simulated people were conscious, as they would be if they'd been detailed sufficiently. Then it could be the case that the vast majority of minds don't belong to the original race, but instead to the people simulated by the advanced descendants of an original race. And if this was the case, it would make total sense to assume that we were among the simulated minds rather than the original biological ones. Still with me? Everything is quantifiable. All the secrets of the universe can be solved with maths. For example, the Genome Project, which sequenced the chemical base pairs of human DNA, that was solved with computers. If everything is mathematical, then everything can be broken down into binary code, meaning that with these super-powered computers in the future, there's the potential for a functional human to be created by inputting the genome sequence into a computer. And if you can create one human, why not build a whole planet of them? Our planet is one of loads that has the conditions to support life. Our sun is really young compared to the others in the universe, which is why many would expect proof of life elsewhere. Especially seeing as we've been into space, shouldn't other civilizations have tried space travel, with a billion other galaxies, some of which are a billion years older than ours? Shouldn't one of them have mastered space travel? The Fermi Paradox summed up is basically me when I try and plan a social event. Where the hell is everybody? But the Fermi Paradox actually supports the simulation theory. If there should be life on other planets, but there isn't, maybe those behind the simulation specifically chose to not simulate other life, either to make it easier for them, or perhaps to see how we'd do alone. Or on the other hand, maybe the simulation made lots and lots of populated planets, all incorrectly assuming that they are alone in the universe. Religion has unfortunately always been a part of our lives. Some imagine God as a bearded dude sitting on the clouds, but the simulation theory would suggest that God, or any other God, could actually just be a programmer hunched over a keyboard. As I've covered, a programmer can create worlds out of binary. The question then would be why encode within us the wish to hail our creator? Maybe the programmer wants us to know that they exist, or maybe it wasn't intended and we've just assumed the creator's existence anyways. But the idea of God as a programmer might even make literal creationism exactly right. The Bible says that God made the world and life in 7 days, but perhaps he used a computer rather than cosmic powers. A simulated world sounds ridiculously complex, but if you think about it, a convincing simulator would only need a few very detailed characters, and then the rest could just be barely made secondary characters. Think of the Grand Theft Auto games. There's hundreds of characters, but you only interact with a few. Just like life, you've got yourself, your close family, your friends, but everybody else, the people that you pass in shops or in town, they're not real. They have little to no thoughts, no emotions, they're essentially just set dressing. Anyways, no need to think about people that you've just walked past in shops or distant stars, because at the end of the day, you don't even have proof that you exist. I mean, we have memories, sure, we have records like photo albums and videos, but how do you know that that isn't just freshly written code? How do you know that everything you are didn't start the last time that you blinked? So, glasses and jacket can come off now while I go lay down and cry for a week. I've had a fair bit of time off since summer in the city, which is odd, because the great time I had at Summer in the City actually inspired me to keep making videos. But for the next few weeks at least, there's going to be one video a week. If you enjoyed this video, then leave me a like down below, because I enjoy every single thumb I can get. Comment down below your favourite creation theory and also what you think of this one. Click over here to subscribe to my channel to be told when I make a new video if YouTube sorts that out. And you can click over this side to go see my last video. I'll see you next week with a tale of a really, really weird dream that I had a few days ago. Like really weird. Bye.